Got Your Back Podstream is brought to you by Mr. Dirk. From casual wear to suits and formals, Mr. Dirk helps you find the perfect fit with the right look for any occasion. Step up your wardrobe at mrdirk.com.
Yes, let the Christmas break begin, and the Edmonton Oilers are some kind of cruising right now. Winners of 11 of their last 13, and they're just rolling along, hitting the Christmas break. Welcome to Got Your Back, folks. Post-game edition. Oilers with a win over the Ottawa Senators, getting set to break it all down tonight on the show. Jason Strudwick, yes, he's still wearing that Christmas sweater you all saw him in on the broadcast. Not sure if you noticed what Struds was wearing. Gene was taking up a lot of eyeballs with his outfit tonight. But Struddy standing by. Rob Brown's going to join us too, and Chris Sabunia behind the scenes at the controls in Kelowna as always. Welcome to the show, folks. Presented as always by our fabulous title sponsor, Play Alberta. It's always game time. Bet on sports, find your new favorite slots, hit the tables, play on a virtual table with a live dealer, grab lottery tickets, and do it all safely with responsible gambling tools that help keep you safe. Deposit today and get a $50 free bet with code GYB12. That is code GYB12. Visit playalberta.ca. I am mobile tonight in our mobile Adrenaline Diesel studio. Now with an online store for all your diesel truck parts needs. Check out adrenalinediesel.ca. All right, Merry Christmas, Struds. Wearing the very festive sweater like you were on the broadcast tonight. Few people sending text messages hoping you were going to wear it for the pod tonight as well. Yeah, that's a beauty, bud. It's a beauty.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's knit this. Took me a little while to get it done, but you know what? I normally wear a suit, but I had multiple complaints, and actually Sportsnet asked me to dial down the sexy. So that's how I went with this, and just try to keep it more, a little bit more plain, buddy. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I suppose between Gene, you, and Stauffer, the sexy gets a little out of control for the viewer at home.
It's oozing off of that table. So I thought I could do my part and try to dial it down just a little bit.
Zuby, hop in here, bud. You got any Christmas going on tonight? You got the Santa hat on, or I think you've done that in years past, maybe. Are you anything special, or just
I got the Hans Gruber
sweater, Zuby.
I got the Hans Gruber Christmas sweater.
Classy.
Now I was at a Christmas party the other night, and I was wearing my Festivus Christmas sweater. Oh, Struddy's got the lights going now. That's extra special. I dropped Hans Gruber's name referring to my other sweater, and I got a lot of blank stares.
Dude, people have no idea. I didn't know. Why do you think people know? People don't know this.
Don't know Die Hard? Whether or not it's a Christmas movie is complete. How does people not know Hans Gruber?
Yeah, Zuby, 3 words to you. Change your friends. That's outrageous. They don't know who Hans Gruber is.
Well, it's true.
Why would I was not sure who Hans Gruber was. In fact, I'll just straight up ask right now, like, who's Hans Gruber?
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
It's the name of the character played by the late great Alan Rickman in a tour de force. That was like his first. I was just reading about this the other day too. It was like his first major film role as well as one of the great villains in cinema history. And it happens.
Talk about getting off on a bad start to the pod. I mean, you just lost so much street cred right there. Massive amount of street cred.
But how many years ago? I mean, this show was forever ago. Like, I love Die Hard. I watched it. I watched it when it came out years and years and years ago. I've maybe watched it once, maybe twice since in my lifetime. A great movie, but I don't feel I'm remiss in not knowing the name of the actor who played the villain.
Oh, man.
Like, I just don't see what the...
It's the character's name. If you only watched Star Wars once, would you be like, who's the guy in the black suit?
That's
who
his
was
name
that
in the
villain
show?
guy?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Hans Gruber's the
was
character's name.
So I just made it worse. I made it worse.
Did you forget? Yeah. Did you forget what Jerry Seinfeld's neighbor's name is? I mean, like at some point, like you're just digging yourself a grave here. Come on, Shoggy. It's enough. Like it's embarrassing, actually.
So between the story of the mouse last night, and I mean not knowing who Hans Gruber is, you feel my credibility has been hit in such a way, Struds, that I might not be able to recover it.
Your pop culture credibility. Zoops, back me up here. Am I wrong?
Oh, no, it's terrible. And in fact, here's ADN said he lost street cred, and more importantly, he lost Strud cred.
That's good. There's only so many credits. You only get so many credits issued a year, and you're running out quickly, buddy. For 2025, you're already out for 2024.
No. I get new credits. I get new credits January 1strd.
Those credits don't roll over. They're not rollover.
They don't. They don't.
Oh, boy.
Quickly, let me just say on that,
All right.
Struddy, would you know what board game I was talking about if I said that we took Rishaug's cool points?
Oof. I'm not a huge board gamer.
Nah.
I play more cards. So sorry. It's not Cards Against Humanity. I won't even bury myself by saying
This
that.
is an old one. It was the Happy Days board game.
I never played.
In the Happy Days board game, you gain or lost cool points based on, I think the Fonz was like the arbiter of cool points, and he decided that was the whole. So it was a very important currency in my youth up at the cottage.
Shogger's going to say, who was the Fonz? If he does, we're all hanging up. We're all hanging up.
Henry Winkler, who actually
all right.
did a great job in the series Barry on HBO. One of my favorite performances from Henry Winkler. I thought he was excellent as the dramatic teacher in the series Barry. Did you guys catch that one?
Familiar with it, but haven't seen it.
What's with the silence? Why, when I say something, does nobody like it or care? I make suggestions and I tell jokes and nobody laughs. I make pop culture references. Nobody supports me. You guys just dead silence on the air. Where is the support for me sometimes in any of this?
Oh, man.
Why do I have to be the odd one out that's ostracized in all of our banter?
Your support's on the stream. Greg Slemp says, yes, Barry is excellent. Trizent says Barry is excellent. Gord Parchewski, Barry was so good. So you're getting the love there. It's just...
All right.
Yeah.
It's just not in this room.
I'm not paying those guys.
Space. Yeah.
I'm not paying you guys, and you can't even conjure it up out of... Goodness sakes.
The kindness of our hearts, yes.
Okay. Well, we'll check in with Brownie. Will Brownie know who Hans Gruber is for sure? Are you 100% sure Brownie will know?
I don't know. He has some memory issues.
Should we let him be the tiebreak tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let Brownie be the tiebreaker. When he comes on, we'll ask him if he knows who Hans Gruber is, and we'll see what his answer is. And maybe I'll earn my points back. If Brownie doesn't know either, then I'm not taking any sort of docking of Strudwick credibility points tonight. Let's get to our breakdown, because there was a hockey game tonight, as much as we're all giddy to be on a Christmas break now. Oilers with a nice patient effort against the Ottawa Senators, Strud. So let's get to our breakdown, brought to you by our good friends over at the Alberta Ram Dealers, bud.
The Drive at Home holiday event is here. Get up to $13,600 in total discounts on 2024 Ram 1500 DT Laramie Crew Cab. See your local Ram dealer today.
All righty. So, Victor Arvidsson eased back into the lineup in his first game back, kind of in that third line scenario. Dropped right onto the top line tonight with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins unavailable, was sick, so wasn't able to play in tonight's game. And right away, pays some dividends, Struds. I thought Arvidsson looked way better tonight than he did in the first game that he was back, which is understandable. And when you combine Zach Hyman and Victor Arvidsson onto a line, there's a lot of tenacious energy going on out there.
Yeah, there's, for sure. Just when I heard that he wasn't able to play Nugent-Hopkins, I thought, okay, perfect. This is an opportunity for them to elevate Skinner up to that line.
Oh, buddy.
And
have you watched at all the last month and a half? You actually thought that?
I did. I thought this is an opportunity, because this did you give him a chance to heading into Christmas to feel good about himself, and it wasn't there. And then, whatever it was, 12 minutes later, the guy who did go up there, Arvidsson, scored a backdoor tap in. So obviously I was wrong.
Yeah.
But so that was my initial thought pre-game. And then during the game.
Struds, can we just press? We should just play that Knobloch clip right now.
Okay.
You want to? Because while we're talking about Skinner, let's go to it. We don't need to do the full read for Weiss Johnson here, but Zuby, basically, to Strud's point, right? What's going to have to happen for this guy to get an opportunity to elevate his way up through the lineup? Multiple top six forwards hurts, and he's on the third and fourth lines. Another top six forward, by the way, plays the same wing, goes out, and he still isn't able to get himself elevated. So Chris Knobloch was asked post-game. And Struds, how would you describe this answer? What word? Was it awkward? Was it... It was...
Awkward. Awkward with a capital A and K.
Isn't that awkward? Go ahead and roll it.
Just, play good hockey and, I look at our team and, who's he elevating? We've got a lot of guys who are playing really well right now, and he'll have his opportunity when, the season's long. There's injuries. There's guys who go through slumps.
No, he won't.
Tonight I thought was a good game from him. Derek Ryan, Corey Perry, and Skinner played extremely well tonight. They spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. They're around the net a lot. That's what I expect from them.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of Knobloch, but I'm going to challenge him a little bit. There have been injuries. We're almost halfway through the season here. And, he hasn't had a chance to be elevated. And I'm not saying he deserves to be elevated, but if he's not a part of your future or of the now, how can he be part of the future? So that's why I felt like tonight was a perfect opportunity. Nugent Hopkins goes out, you slide Skinner right in there beside Hyman and McDavid, who are buzzing right now. Those two are buzzing, they're going. So you add him in there. At worst, you have 2/3 of the line still going there, and maybe get Skinner kind of going. So I don't know. I wouldn't say I was surprised, Schauger, and I feel like I'm like his biggest hype man, Skinner's. But if he's going to be a part of the solution, you got to get him going. And that answer didn't. If I'm Skinner, I'm not thinking, oh yeah, he's going to get me out there right away.
Yeah, and listen, this is so far from being a major storyline tonight, but it's definitely
100%,
big picture.
100%.
Big picture. It's notable for what's going on with this team right now. They've invested in this player, and they lost other players because they invested in this player. And at a certain point, you would think they're going to have to figure out a way to lean into him again to see if he can't fill out more of the role they had envisioned for him. I'm not sure exactly what that looks like. Clearly, there is dialogue that needs to be had with the player so he knows exactly what they need. But it's been a big-time misfire. But I think at some point, they're going to have to try and give him another opportunity to be what he's supposed to be. The problem for him is Nugent Hopkins is a fixture up there. Vasily Podkolzin has come in and blown the doors off in terms of winning over the coaching staff and his teammates. So it's a tall order, but it just didn't work. So we'll leave that there. Yep. Do you have anything else to add to that, Struds? You want to move on?
No. But I think we want to talk about Arvidsson here just quickly. I totally hijacked your question. But Arvidsson, he's not a great player, but he plays really well with great players. Like, he's really smart. He understands how to support the puck, how to move, how to dig pucks out of the corner. He's a hard worker. He goes to the net. Like, he does all those little things that, are very good complementary skills. Because I don't think he can run his own line, but playing with top players is a skill unto itself, and he has it for sure. And I think you're right. I thought his legs looked really good tonight.
You know what else I thought about him? I thought he looked excellent on that power play over in Nugent Hopkins' spot. Now, I know that power play was brutal early on in the game, so we'll throw that one aside. But I don't blame any of that on Arvidsson. But I thought when they got set up later in the game and they had possession, the puck did not die on his stick at all, Struts. He made really nice plays with that power play that he's not used to playing on.
100%. So I don't think he really gets a chance to even practice with those guys, does he? You're down there every day, so
No.
it was kind of a
No,
new
he's a
thing.
second unit guy. Yeah.
I thought I thought him being on there was not disruptive, but I thought they had no chemistry to start. Prior to the goal they scored, Hyman and Arvidsson are talking, like a long discussion, not like, hey, where are you going for Christmas? It was like they're pointing. I thought it looked like Hyman is saying, you go back post. And so when you see the puck goes over to the side, Arvidsson goes and perches up, or just like you see Hyman do, right? He was kind of deep, Yogi Berra, stick down, a deep squat. He's going to bounce off of whatever comes at him. The puck is shot hard at him, doesn't go in, but bounces off him right to Hyman, who is in the high slot, which is really abnormal for Hyman. Hyman pounced on the rebound and taps it in. So that is two veteran players talking to each other. Hey, this is how we're going to work. This is what we're going to do. And it worked out perfectly. So you kind of need, I think they got to try to find ways of getting more people involved in that first power play, just in case someone's not around. So guys can have a little bit of time with it. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be just during the games. It can also be in practice, but just so people feel comfortable and understand kind of how to gel in with them.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to happen. I mean, when all five of those guys are healthy, it just feels to me like they're locked in. And you remember, I was the dummy who in preseason predicted that Arvidsson might get a look with this top unit, which tonight maybe justifies that as an idea, but it's just not happening. Those five guys are locked in, buddy.
I know, but it's when they're not healthy, right? They need to have it. Like, let's say we're game 5 of the second round of the playoffs and someone goes down. The first time that Arvidsson sees him can't be game 102. Right? Well,
they looked pretty damn good tonight the first time he saw them. And by the way, they wouldn't have had time to practice. They probably only found out Nugent Hopkins was going to be out like this afternoon at some point. So whether it was even part of the meeting, maybe Hyman was literally saying, this is the way the power play looks, because maybe it was a last minute thing. So they looked good. And Arvidsson, I thought, look, he's a veteran player. He's been on power plays before, but he made plays, buddy. Like, he made plays.
He did. Yeah, for sure. No, he looked fine, but it looked uncomfortable to start. Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree. That power play was ugly. That could have been a momentum zapper. But they did bounce back and got better as the game went on. So 1-0 lead for the Oilers, courtesy of that goal from Arvidsson. You want to break down the 1-1 goal for us?
Not much to say. I mean,
put that on a tee for you.
Yeah, if you didn't see the goal, Evan Bouchard start the period, comes out. Not a lot of speed, last man back, and tries to dangle Cousins, and Cousins just taps and goes in on a breakaway. That's you don't have to tell him anything. We don't have to tell Bouchard that's the wrong play, right? You're coming out with no speed and trying to beat the last guy, but just a detail, right? Now maybe he's a little tired, maybe just a slip in a second there, and luckily it didn't affect the game ultimately, other than I guess breaking a shuttle. But that is. You learn that in Pee Wee. Last guy back, you can't be dangling someone, especially with no speed.
So I would agree with you that, in that situation, there's not really much to say. He made the mistake. He knows the mistake. But they are about to take a little Christmas break here and reflect on their games a little bit. The one thing that I would be saying to Evan Bouchard, big picture, Struds, is there has been way too much of that exact thing in his game. Way too much. On the offensive blue line on the power play, on the offensive blue line 5-on-5, in the neutral zone when he's last guy back. He tries to stick, drag, and dangle guys when he's the last guy back. He has been doing this way more this year than in previous years. So the messaging for me would be, take a look at this. You got to try and weed this little thing out of your game, because this is not a one-off tonight, Struts.
No, and we have seen it on the blue line for sure. Turn into a breakaway. So I guess what is he? Is he trying to do too much, or is he maybe not just quite enough urgency in those moments? And it might be
what I would say it is, Struds. Sorry to interrupt you. What I would say it is not recognizing the danger. You can't do it when you're the last guy back and he continues to. Like, you want to encourage your skill guys to make plays. Yeah. Right? You don't want to, but he needs to recognize you're consistently doing something that's dangerous. Stop doing that. By all means, be creative and work that line and all that. That is too high risk, and you're doing it too often.
Yeah, I think basically what you're saying is just pick your spots a little bit better, right?
Yes.
And
100%.
He has. It's just you just know you don't do that. If that's Troy Stetcher, he maybe there's a different outcome for him. Like, he's not going out of the lineup, and maybe he sits a little bit or whatever. But that's just reality. I think that he just He's very casual sometimes coming up the ice, and that's what makes him, obviously a very good passer, but it also gets him in trouble. So he can, that's the floor I'm talking about. The ceiling's high, but the floor is also high at times with Evan Bouchard, as we saw with that play. He's got to move that floor up a long way so those small breakdowns don't happen.
Yep. So one dark moment in an otherwise, pretty solid rest of the game for the Oilers, and Bouchard got better after that as well, as the group did. And once again, it's Zach Hyman, Struds. What was he, 3 goals in his first 20? And he's just piling in the goals since he has come back. Never mind the destroyed nose and the black eyes and the visor and the bandage and all that mayhem and mess. Zach Hyman does not need to see clearly to score goals in the NHL. And he's just piling them in with a ton of confidence. I know it's not about sending any messages to Team Canada or anything like that, but good on Hyman for doing what he's doing, Struds, and finding it. And then, quite frankly, saying, I was playing good all along. They're just going in now, which is basically what he said after the game.
Yeah, he did. And he's he was playing well. He just wasn't scoring. And I loved how he talked about it's the process, right? If you're not getting chances, you're not going to score. And that's a real old saying, an old cliche, but it's true. When you're coming out of a slump, you're getting chances and you're going to find your way. And he was in a slump, but it wasn't a slump because he was playing bad. It was just a slump that he was just literally snake bitten. So he has played really well. And now he's going above and he's scoring those goals, and it sure brings balance to the lines, doesn't it, when Zach Hyman's scoring?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, he's just, and when he's on his game, he just the work that he does in the corners to allow Connor McDavid to be Connor McDavid. You just can't talk about it enough. He's the best board player in the NHL, and to have that paired with the best, puck handler and offensive threat in the NHL. It's just a deadly combination. Zuby, do we have some Zach Hyman in the Weiss Johnson soundbox, my friend?
Sure do. You guys want to tee it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get to that Weiss Johnson soundbox, Struds.
Yeah, get your home holiday ready with Weiss Johnson. With any new furnace installed before Christmas, they're offering free duct cleaning. Whether your old furnace has given up or you're just looking to upgrade for a cozier holiday, they've got you covered, and your ducts too. Visit WeissJohnson.com for more details. Hit it.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
What do we got, Zuby? Tee it up.
All right. Here's Zach.
Yeah, I mean, it's life, it's sports.
Nice job.
It's all up in your mind, right? When you're feeling good, things are easier. Obviously, things slow down. When you're not feeling good, everything seems fast. So you get the same player. But I think having played in this league a long time, I recognize that so much of hockey and sports are results driven, and when you're not getting the results, if you've played a long time, you know that it's about the process and about getting your looks and getting your chances and being around it. And then I think you can find confidence a number of ways. And having been able to score in this league a long time, I think that you kind of can find confidence in that, knowing that if you continue to get the chances, they're going to go in.
Yes, and they have. It's been a great return to the lineup for Zach Hyman. Struds, we got a lot more to get to in this game. I thought Stuart Skinner was very strong. I want to talk about the Oilers' overall game and the patience that they seem to have developed here. A few other things we want to get to. We'll save that for takeaways, and Brownie's going to join us here shortly. I'm just getting to the house right now, buddy, so why don't you guys take care of Relentless Player and take care of the poll, and I'm going to head inside, and we'll pick it up in a couple of minutes with takeaways.
All right, buddy. Go get set up. Let's get to that Relentless Player. Today's an interesting one. This will be a first. The Relentless is brought to you by You Can Youth Services, an Edmonton charity relentless in helping young people rise above life's challenges. From mental health struggles to finding a steady job, they offer the support youth need to build brighter futures, connecting them to employment opportunities, equipping them with essential life and work skills, and providing free on-site counseling to ensure their success. Visit youcan.ca to donate today. So, Zoobs, I'm going off the board. I'm going to give the Relentless Player out to the entire Oilers team, including the coaches, even the trainers. They have been excellent I think they've won 11 of the last 13 games. collecting points and moving up the standings. They now find themselves ahead of the mighty LA Kings.
Right.
The Kings lost tonight.
Yep.
And they are, I believe, 3 points behind Vegas. Now, to be fair, Vegas has a game at hand. But Vegas 47, the Oilers 44, and the Kings 43. A little bit of separation now. Vancouver Canucks in fourth with 39 points. So I'm giving it to those guys, that the whole team, everyone, that's just an organization, because they've fought their way up the standings and are right where they kind of want to be, probably.
And I don't know the exact numbers too, but you think about a sub 500 start in the first, whatever it was, 10, 11 games. So, they're really rolling since then. So yeah, well-deserved. Why not? Gomez was wondering if maybe you had an inkling to give it to Rico tonight for getting off the schneid. We know he has a special place in your heart.
Oh, you guys know how I feel about him. And, he actually had, I thought, this game and last game had 2 great chances on his backhand. And he just wasn't able quite to capitalize on those. So, he's a guy that you kind of count for, 15 goals a game, or 15, 20 goals a year. And I think he's got 3 now. So maybe the unofficial second half after Christmas, I could see him, rattling off a few more, because that line's been good. Brown, he and the janitor have been good together. All right, buddy, let's get to our poll here. Brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. Holiday deals have arrived at DeBoer's with savings you don't want to miss. 50% off all in-stock clothing and footwear, stocking stuffers galore, including Titleist Pro V1 and Strixon Z Star golf balls, all on sale. Or for the golfer who has it all, give the gift of a gift card. Locally owned and operated, proudly serving golfers for 25 years. Experience unmatched service, premium products, and incredible holiday savings. Zuby, take her away, bud.
Yeah, no shocker here. I guess I didn't have a shot set up for this, but I think you're going to get to this topic later, so you don't have to weigh in on it necessarily yet. But the suspension came down for New York Rangers Matt Rempe today. He was given 8 games for the high hit on Heiskanen into the glass there. And so our question tonight is, what's your opinion of the 8-game suspension for Matt Rempe? And the options are too lenient, just right, or too harsh. And we'll see what Oiler Nation and Got Your Back Nation thinks about it tonight. Are we're gonna go deeper on that a little later on, right?
We're going to get into it and take a lap. We kind of hammered on it at Strud's World last show. I guess last show was like 24 hours ago.
Yep.
But we'll get into then. So let's do this. We're going to have Schauger back, Brownie right away, and then you and I, aka Hans Gruber's favorite people. We're going to duck out when we come back. We'll get into all that and more with the guys here on Got Your Back.
Okay, yeah, I got Brownie standing by, so I'm going to call him right now, and he'll be back with us after the break. We'll see you shortly. Oh, there we go.
Ready to go all in this season? Mr. Dirk's got you covered with express on-site tailoring, a wide selection of craftsman-made suits, sport coats, and casual staples for every occasion. Score big with Mr. Dirk. We've always got your back. Visit us off White Ave, south of 102nd Street, or browse online at mrdirk.com.
At Gallery Dental, we believe in blending exceptional care with artistry to create the perfect smile for you. From routine cleanings to advanced cosmetic procedures, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch care in a relaxed and comfortable environment. With state-of-the-art technology and a passion for perfection, we ensure that every visit is a positive experience. Join the Gallery Dental family and let us help you achieve a smile that you'll love to show off. Contact us today at secolandentistry.com.
Hold on, Shog. I'm going to get you to do that again. I'm going to run the takeaways B-roll, and we'll have you out of the green room. No, you're still in the green room. Let me bring you here. I put you in as a guest.
Hey!
All right, now go for it.
Now go for it?
And I'm going to give you the B-roll again.
Perfect. We got to give Martin Motorsports the B-roll. That's the best part of their ad because
sexy.
it's just a pile of fun, a pile of winter fun happening. Takeaways brought to you by Martin Motorsports. Discover a new way to ride this winter with a Widescape from Martin Motorsports, the ultimate snowmobile for enduro adventures. Lightweight, agile, made for exploring off-trail. Stand up, take control, and carve your way through uncharted winter terrain. Every ride with a Widescape will open up new adventures beyond the trail. Visit Martin Motorsports today to learn more about the Widescape. Oh, dude, those look like a ton of fun. We got to get out on some of those this winter. Brownie joins us. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very good. How are you guys?
Good. Yeah, we're having a great show. Zuby's been all over it for sure. Hey, who's Hans Gruber, Brownie?
Isn't he from Die Hard? Isn't he the bad guy?
Oh, damn it.
Yes, Brownie.
Boom. Boom.
All right. How many credibility points did I lose, Struds? Are they all gone? Do I have any left, or is it all gone?
The account has been emptied.
Brownie, apparently I'm a pop culture, I'm pathetic when it comes to pop culture, and you just sealed my fate, buddy.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
he was from Die Hard. Yeah, that's okay, but you're just being honest, and I guess I need to look in the mirror a little bit. Hey, Brownie, nice resilient game for the Oilers. Patient game for the Oilers, I would say. Hey, bud, like they've sort of built in this level of maturity and patience, and they just always seem comfortable, whatever the score is, and I think that was on display again tonight. Wouldn't you?
I agree. I think this was one of their best games in the last 6 or 7. I know that they had a million scoring chances against San Jose, but San Jose's not as good a team. And San Jose in the third period, if it wasn't for 3 saves by Pickard, could have extended the lead and won that hockey game. There was a lot of defensive breakdowns in a game that the Oilers dominated. The Boston game, I didn't think the Oilers were as good. I think they got fortunate in that game. The Florida game, they weren't good defensively, but tonight there was not a point in that hockey game where I felt that the Ottawa Senators had any sort of control. I felt the Oilers were in control from the beginning of the game. I thought from top to bottom for the Oilers, their lineup, everybody contributed. You got a guy like Derek Ryan, healthy scratch last game, taking a face-off in the last minute of a game. I thought this was a complete full-team game that the Oilers were the better team from start to finish. And it was, again, I thought this was one of their best games they've played in the last little while, which says a lot because they're 11-2 in their last 13 games.
How would Arvidsson feel as he wheels out there for the power play, probably in a position he's not super comfortable with, which was a flanker, which Nuge takes, and kind of his thought process getting up to speed on a very quick-moving power play?
Well, he looked as though he was lost at times. There were, I mean, the 4-minute power play the Oilers had, their best scoring chance was set up by Shane Pinto with a breakaway pass to Zach Hyman. And then Zach Hyman takes it and he gives it to Arvidsson. Arvidsson had the puck for 5 seconds in the slot with nobody on him. He didn't know what to do. He did, should I shoot this? I got Connor and Leon. They might want it. Should I pass to them? So Arvidsson looked a little confused in that spot, whereas normally when you see Nuge there, everything just flows. You know exactly where it's supposed to be. I thought Arvidsson was really good in this game, but I think on the power play, he looked, I don't know if the word is overwhelmed, but I think he looked like a guy that hasn't played in that position all season long, and the other guys are quite comfortable with each other, and he was like, which one of these guys is not like the other? I think that was Arvidsson on the power play.
Not to
You're
be a
muted.
sticker
Sorry, I was
on my
muted
icon,
there.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was going to say, Brownie, I actually thought he looked pretty good in that spot, all things considered, outside the first power play where they were all awful. But I thought he actually snapped it around pretty nicely. And I know exactly the play you're talking about where he was a little confused in the slot in terms of which way to go. But I thought that for the number of handles that he had with the puck, I thought he made a lot of really good decisions with it.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that. I saw a power play that created nothing. They had a 4-minute power play that they got nothing on net. I mean, the only chance they got was when Shane Pinto iced it from the far end and gave Hyman a breakaway. I mean, their power play was not good other than the goal they scored, and that was on the back of Leon Draisaitl, that goal. Arvidsson looked lost, and I don't blame him. He hasn't been there. That Arvidsson's a right-hand shot. They're not going to one-time that. They don't want that one time. They want the puck back, Connor and Leon. So to me, that's Nuge's spot, and he ain't losing that spot because Leon and Connor are very comfortable with RNH in that spot.
They started
this
that,
is
that
me.
second. Oh yeah,
Go ahead,
No,
Strutz.
go ahead. I was going to say they started the second unit on that 4-minute power play, and I thought that group really struggled. Like it just, I don't know if I do believe as a penalty killer it carries on. Like if I feel like we're starting getting a penalty kill, we'll keep it going. And that I thought the second unit for one of the first times this year really was very disorganized. And credit Sens, they were very aggressive.
I think you made some very good points in that disagreement we had, Brownie, and I'm going to let you have the last word, and I am going to move on now and not trying to do anything to accentuate my point as host because I have the benefit of the last word. Moving on to the next point here. Stuart Skinner. Hey, he's been playing great hockey. Didn't have to be spectacular in this game. But Struds, he's doing his job. He's steady. He's making the saves he's got to make. He's avoiding letting in the bad goal at the bad time. Like, this guy is finding his game, doing his job, and his game's in great shape heading into the Christmas break here.
Yeah, it sure is. We spoke about Calvin Pickard and how he's playing, and Skinner's doing as well. And think of some of the goaltenders that he's taken on. Tonight, Linus Ullmark. Now, I know Ullmark only played for 20 minutes, but still in the first period, he was up to the task. And Ullmark looks good. Like that team with Ullmark, it looks that team probably is going to trend in the right direction here. But he's taken on good netminders. He's had success. And I think he should be feeling really good about himself heading into the second half of the season. And very importantly, the way that Pickard's playing, them both being healthy, will allow Skinner to get the rest required to kind of push, hopefully, deep in the playoffs.
You know what? There wasn't a whole lot of grade A scoring chances for the Senators, and credit the Oilers for that because they played good defensively. But there was one breakdown. It was kind of a bad bout, but breakdown where Claude Giroux had the puck by himself in front of the net. And when you're a goaltender, you don't get a lot of looks at you. Like, you're okay, I got to stay focused, got to stay in it. The save that he made on Giroux tried going from one side of the net all the way across to the other. If he gets his stick and puck around the pad, it's a wide open net because there was nobody on him. The save that Skinner made, it was subtle, but he kicked out the toe just enough to get the puck off of Giroux's stick. That was a really nice save at a really big moment in a quiet game for Stuart Skinner. He was excellent in this game. Again, wasn't called upon a lot, but it was a close game. He can't make a mistake in a close game like that. And again, another good quality start for Stuart Skinner.
I don't think we can also overlook the skaters. I thought they did a great job of getting into shooting lanes and blocking shots. There's a lot of shots blocked or altered.
26, buddy.
For the Sens. 26 shot
attempts
blocks.
blocked for the Sens. Yeah. I'm just going to take a look here. So 5 for Evan Bouchard, 4 for Brett Kulak. Bunch of guys had 2. So yeah, that's a good observation by you, pal. 26 in total.
Yeah. And also just the shot changes, right? Like having to change a guy's shot. That's frustrating, Brownie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is, for sure it is. When you think you have a scoring opportunity, you get the puck through, and then someone comes in your shooting lane. All of a sudden now you're shooting, you see the stick, but you can't get the puck to the stick. Yeah, the Oilers that's why I'm going on. This is a really, really good defensive effort. This is when the Oilers play like this, they're going to win a lot of hockey games because they're going to score 3 goals. They got too much offense to not score 3 goals most nights. Like, not only did they just give up the one, there weren't many looks, and the one they gave up, it was a gift. It was a Bouchard gift. They didn't allow the Senators to create. I think that is a testament to a really strong defensive effort from top to bottom for the Oilers tonight.
ADN chimes in. I think the Oilers overall seem to usually not give up too many high-danger opportunities. I think Skinner's learning how to really focus on making the unspectacular saves that the team needs. He certainly plays well when the structure in front of him is good. He's a big guy. He gets in the way. He's calm in there when he's at his best. I agree with ADN. Some good points there. Let's get back to the Weiss Johnson sound box. Zuby, I believe we have some Skinner.
A group, especially the guys on the blue line, just really coming together and fighting really hard every single night. You just see a really consistent play by every single guy. Every single guy's doing their job, what they're asked to do. And I think when you do that, you always give your team a chance to win. So, it's easy trying to do too much, and I feel like that's where we're doing a really good job. We're just being really simple and sticking to whatever your job is.
Yeah, I asked Skinner about the way that his team has figured out how to defend here. Some new faces after last season, some different guys. Took a little bit of time for them to find their groove, but they're operating at a pretty impressive clip right now. Strud's overall defensively, and Skinner is definitely sensing that in front of him.
Yeah, and it just as a goalie, you want to kind of make it predictable for them. So they kind of have an idea of where the shots may come from if there's a breakdown. And he looks very comfortable. And I say this all the time. As a D-man, you don't want your goalie all over the net. Just be there in the way. Let it hit you so I can hopefully have, if there is a rebound, I can kind of predict where it's coming from. And when you're flying all over the net, it actually unsettles a D-man. When you're just kind of standing there and lets it hit you, I can clear out the rebounds if it hits you. I can't clear it out of the back of the net.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right.
That's exactly it. The Oilers are predictable now defensively. And when they're predictable, your goaltending is going to be better. And the Oilers were very predictable tonight.
Nice to see your boy Henrique get off the schneid there, Struds, after a couple of by the way, love a guy that's not afraid to whip a backhand from the slot. 2 games in a row, Henrique has gone to the backhand, but ended up scoring on a nice one.
Yeah, and it's a nice setup. And that line, they're working well. Had some tough matchups tonight, but they did a pretty good job. So they need that line scoring. They need Henrique scoring and feeling it. I know he's off to a pretty slow start. Maybe I haven't been pumping him up enough, but he's got to get into double-digit goals for sure.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. That was the our takeaway segment brought to you by Martin Motorsports. We've got a great number joining us on the stream tonight. Brownie, if it's okay with you, we're going to have you hang in for Ask Us Anything tonight, and this the final show before the Christmas break. Approximately how far are you from being home, buddy, so we can try and time this out for you?
20 minutes.
Oh, you're still 20 minutes from home. Okay, sounds good. So let's get a quick break in. We got Brownie Points, Struddy's World, and Ask Us Anything, and that should finish off your drive home. So quick break, and we'll be right back here on Got Your Back.
Specializing in heavy-duty commercial truck powertrain repair, performance, tuning, and part sales, Adrenaline Diesel's professional team is ready to assist you with all of your needs, from the simplest oil changes to engine conversions, overhauls, and engine modifications. Featuring an all-new online parts store and machine shop to manufacture, replicate, or repair parts, visit adrenalinediesel.ca.
With over 18 years in the industry, Kelly Zaretsky and her team at Blue Summit Accounting deliver client-focused solutions and financial guidance for success in a simple and comfortable way. Whether it's for corporate or personal needs, Blue Summit Accounting can help with taxes, estate planning, financial services, bookkeeping, and more. Get in touch today. Email bluesummitacct@gmail.com or call 780-416-9662.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy.
Gotta look good.
Yes, time to Struddy's World, brought to you by Timber House. If you're tired of those Dell cookie cutter houses, Timber House is here to shake things up. Their designs harness the power of natural light to brighten your days and lift your spirits, because life's too short for ordinary houses and dull living. Let them build you a place where laughter and good times are part of their blueprints. Check them out at timberhouse.ca. Super cool houses, really original designs. It's really neat stuff. If you're thinking about it, highly recommend you check out the crew over at Timber Haas. Struds, what do you got tonight? What's in that big old brain of yours, buddy?
Vindication. It's not just a great racehorse. It's how I'm feeling tonight. For years, literally years, I've been saying that teams should penalty kill by sending someone behind Evan Bouchard. Did the Flyers do it? No. Did the Kings do it? No. Did we see other teams that played them in the playoffs do it? No. Dallas, Vegas, no. Not doing it. Finally today, the Ottawa Senators, led by my former teammate Travis Green and my D partner Nolan Baumgartner, decided to do it. Now, did I tell them? No, but they must have heard it on the podcast, because this is the way you stop them and slow it down. You send someone behind. You can see it. Bouchard's came up the ice. He doesn't know what's going on. You saw Connor the first couple of times swing deep. Then he started kind of his route shorter. It disrupted things. That's all you got to do. You don't have to stop them. Just disrupt them. Maybe do it the first, third, and fifth times. If you're not where those are prime numbers. But change it up, because what you're doing isn't working. Vindication, capital V. I'm dropping. That's it. Merry Christmas, everybody.
I hate to burst your happy little Christmas bubble, Struds. Like, I don't want to do that with, statistics. According to Sport Logic, the Oilers on the power play attempted zone entries 13, successful zone entries 12.
That's not very good. They're usually better than that. So what I'm saying here, if you watch that first power play, they were unsettled. They did not, and that's all you're asking for. You're just trying to take it down just a little bit, right? Now, zone entries that count if they. Oh, go ahead, Brownie.
Well, no, you're absolutely right, Fred, and I agree with you 100%. Like, if you're the opposition, who do you want carrying the puck in? Do you want Connor McDavid at full speed, or do you want Evan Bouchard at half speed? Because Evan Bouchard is only coming up at half speed because his whole plan is to get the center and throw it backwards. So if you all of a sudden go behind Evan Bouchard, now he's coming up half speed. And even if he gets in the zone, and there were a couple times that he got in the zone, but it's easier to attack because as a defenseman, you're not pushed back as far. When Connor's coming up full speed, they're all back. Like, there's a couple times Connor came up, took a shot. The defensemen were at the hash marks, and I don't blame them. But when Bouchard's coming up, they're standing up. Now when he passes it to Nugent Hopkins or to Draisaitl, you're able to attack because you're not so far back, because you don't have to worry about the speed of McDavid. You're 100% right, and they did get it in, but look at how many times they were disrupted when they first got it in, and it got iced right back down again.
Yeah, and I'm just being a smart ass, Struds, because I actually do agree with you. I thought it was effective.
Right.
But the other thing I noticed too was that the Oilers, they seem to be taking away that up top to the blue line stuff. The Oilers, on the power play goal they scored, I was shocked at how much time and space they had down kind of near the bottom of the circles. They were almost trying to figure out, like, how are we going to take advantage of all this space? And the sticks were in lanes to avoid the puck going around the outside and back to the point. So Ottawa definitely had a very significant plan coming into this game, Struds, of what they wanted the Oilers power play to do.
I thought it was a great job. And I'm not sure who's responsible for that penalty kill over there. I'm guessing it's Nolan Baumgartner. I might be
probably
wrong.
Bomber, yeah.
And you even saw sometimes where the puck would go up to Bouchard and the forward would pressure him and that D would sneak up. So when they threw it back down, he was there. He jumped him. And it was Jensen the one time specifically that jumped him. So they were very aggressive. They're like, we're going to have to make these guys beat us. So a little bit, I'll just take a step down here from my lap of triumph. Without Nuge, it does change things quite a bit. It does change things quite a bit. But I'm really patting myself on the back. But if I was another team, at least the first power play, I'd do this just to give them pause, to change it up. The power play hasn't been on fire like you've seen in past years, but it's just been, when it's on fire, you have to slow it down. Even if it slows it down even 30 seconds, I'd take that 30 seconds.
All right. Great stuff. That was Struddy's World, brought to you by Timber Haas Developments. All right, Zuby, fire up the happy music, buddy. Time for Brownie Points, brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. Their premium jerky makes an excellent gift or stocking stuffer with only a few days till Christmas. Take advantage of the deal. 4 half-pound packs of jerky for $55
As always, free shipping in Alberta. Hop onto albertajerky.com to order yours and enter the code GOTYOURBACK for an additional 10% off. So, Brownie, you put in all this time and effort and energy and this really heartfelt brownie points last night, giving away Christmas points instead as a grand farewell for the holiday season to all of us. You thought it was the last show, didn't you? Because you text me today. You're like, do we have a show tonight?
I thought it was a little premature as well. I'm like, are we done?
Yeah, it was a premature handing out of the Christmas points. So what do you got tonight, bud?
Well, you see, what you do is you hand them out early. Then people realize, hey, he gave me something. Now I got to go give him something back. Anyways, tonight I got to give a little love to a star down south who's from the Edmonton area, Canadian Jubba Hubbard. Tonight of the Carolina Panthers, 152 yards rushing. He gets 152 brownie points, and the winning rush in overtime, he ran 21 yards for the winning TD. So Jubba Hubbard, he gets 152 brownie points. I got -8 to the National Hockey League Disciplinary Committee for their 8-game suspension of Matt Rempe. I wanted 20. I expected 10. I'm extremely disappointed in 8. That's all I got to say about the Remp Doctor, whoever you want to call him, Rempster, Remporama. Anyways, I got 48 for the Washington Capitals. Going into the Christmas break, and they actually have another game they could add to this. Going into the Christmas break, they have the best winning percentage in the National Hockey League. They've played 15 of the last 15 games without their best player, Alex Ovechkin. They're 1 point out of the NHL lead in points, and they can get that tomorrow night with 1 point or two. I didn't have the Washington Capitals making the playoffs, let alone at Christmas being the top team winning percentage-wise. Good on the Washington Capitals. Good on their coaching staff. They've shocked me. I've got 10 brownie points for Zach Hyman. He has 10 goals in 9 games since coming back from injury. He's got goals in 6 straight games. It was kind of silly that the Team Canada for the Four Nations Cup had to pick their teams 2.5 months before the game. Had they waited, Zach Hyman would be on that team. Unfortunately for him, he had a slow start. But Zach Hyman is now right where we thought he would be. He is absolutely flying. And the last one I got, 846 brownie points to the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers are 11-2 in their last 13 games. That's an 846 winning percentage. Slow start to the season means nothing. This team is good. They are, to me, they and Vegas are the 2 best teams in the National Hockey League that I've seen so far this year. They're going to go into this. They have 4 full days off at Christmas. 4 days, no hockey, no practice, no nothing, and they deserved it with the way they're playing. They are playing as good as they have all season long. Good on them.
All right. Brownie points brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. Anything, Struds?
Yeah, I saw that 4 days off. The 4 days off. That's a lot. And I love it. I think that's great that they're doing that for this group. Because as I understand it, Shogger, it's 4 days of nothing. Like guys are leaving. I think they deserve is kind of a weird word, but going back to last year, they need this break both physically and mentally.
Yeah, I like it.
And then you have the break in February, so it's good.
Not to take liberties with your segment, Brownie, because it absolutely is your segment, but we don't talk a lot about Derek Ryan on the pod. So I think if possible, I'd like to extend an honorary 600 of your brownie points to Derek Ryan. He crossed that milestone tonight, and I think all of us would agree, Brownie, impressive career from a guy who, didn't get there the easy way.
No, 100%. I did an event with him this week. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet as well. And what I really respect too, 600th game, healthy scratch last game, minute to go in a hockey game. Game was still in the balance. He's out there taking a face-off. Good on Chris Knoblauch having his right-handed centerman taking a big draw. So, 100%. Derek Ryan has earned every one of those 600 games he's played in the NHL.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that was Brownie Points brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. We've got Brownie still, so let's get to Ask Us Anything, because I know people love the opportunity to fire some questions at Struds and Brownie so that I can be quiet for a segment. It is brought to you by BJ Electric Supplies. Founded in 1976, they're a full-line distributor providing quality wholesale electrical products for use in industrial, commercial, and residential settings. Proudly owned and operated in Edmonton. Love the local companies, the local partners here on the show. Visit bjelectric.ca. Zuby, hop on in here, my friend, and tell us what the people want to know.
Oh, we got some good stuff tonight. Then we got a little rapid fire, Christmas rapid fire we're going to do at the end. But we got some good stuff to get to first. So let's go. Our friend, great name, Ben Dofer. He says, ask us anything. Pod Colson got a lot of heat from Talkit management and fans in Vancouver. Does his solid play and teamwork as an Oiler tell us anything about how deep the problems might be in Vancouver? Now, Matt Blom, our resident Canucks fan, also added he felt like the expectations of what Pod Colson was supposed to be in Vancouver was much different because of the position he was drafted in. They were expecting more of a goal scorer. But do you think it's possible that any of the rift, any of the stuff going on in Vancouver is amplified by what we're seeing out of Pod Colson in a different environment?
Brownie.
No, I don't. I think what's happening in Vancouver is between Miller and Pedersen. I don't think Pod Colson was involved in that at all. I think that Colson's like a lot of young players that needed a second chance to really realize what he is as a hockey player. So I don't think you can look too much into Pod Colson having success elsewhere. I think it's just the Oilers are fortunate that they couldn't find a role for Pod Colson in Vancouver, and the Oilers have, and he's grasped his role here and been very, very good.
Yeah, a fresh set of eyes, right? Second organization. Like you're a bit player, right? He was a bit player there. I just can't see him really have been caught up in any of that, whatever is or isn't going on. There's a fringe player doesn't get involved.
Okay, Paulie with this one says, Oilers 15-2-1 when leading after 2, something that needs some recognition. Struddy, is that there's kind of a, and I was trying to verify that, but if that's the case, I mean, that's kind of not the I think the common feeling about this team is they're going to give one away in the third. But if that's the case, 15-2-1, that does deserve some recognition.
They're comfortable in those types of games. And going back to when we first started this podcast, we talked about being comfortable in 2-1 games. When that Colm arrived, we got to learn to, go into the third tied at 1 or up 2-1 and just feeling comfortable. They are comfortable in that. You know why? Because they've been through playoff series where they weren't. They've been through playoff series where they are. And now they are in regular season, and it shows. They're comfortable in it, Brownie.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the Senators down by 2 in this hockey game didn't have their first shot on net until after 10 minutes of the third period. So that's a team that knows how to play good defensive hockey. They're much more mature. They're the oldest or second oldest team in the league. They understand what they need to do. And going forward, you want to be a playoff team that has success, you have to learn to hold on to a lead, and the Oilers are getting much, much better at it.
Greg Slemp says, big game against the Kings coming up. That's the next game on the 28th, right? I hope they keep it going. They've been so good. Let's go. Brownie, what are your thoughts about that probably looking ahead to December 28th? We wouldn't have thought that's going to be like a neck and neck matchup in the division. What do you think of this is going to happen in this upcoming matchup?
Well, it's funny. The Washington Capitals are the biggest surprise for me this year. The LA Kings would be a big surprise as well. I thought there would be a little tail off from them. I mean, their star players are getting older, Kopitar, Doughty, but they've shocked me. They're a good hockey club. They've played all this season so far, or most of it, without Drew Doughty. They are. I did not think that. I thought that this would be the year that the LA Kings would miss the playoffs. Yet they found a way to play good, solid hockey again. So I look forward to. I always like LA Edmonton games. They always get a little bit of nastiness to it. I wish Doughty was playing because he usually creates most of that. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a fun game.
I've watched some of their games. Watch Byfield and Fogle, 2 big, strong guys that play together. That's a handful of a line. Handful.
Coco Lynn says, question for Brownie and Struddy. As a player, would you prefer to play for a contending team but have limited minutes, or play for a poor team and have elevated playing time? And you guys, did either of you ever kind of face that choice in your career, Struddy?
Yeah, it's hard, right? Like, I was with the Rangers. We went to the second round, and I barely played. I think I played 2 games in the playoffs, and it's like, I want the team to do well, but I'd love to be out there, right? See, I was thinking, what if we won the Stanley Cup? Would I even contribute? It's hard. But then the problem is, if you're on a bad team playing a lot, usually that means you're done by April 7th. So it's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It is really tough, Strud. It's one of those. If you're a bad team and you're playing lots, well, that could be because you're not very good. That's right. What I'd be thinking. Well, there's a reason I'm playing a lot is because I'm on a bad team. I wouldn't be playing on it. Going. It's funny, and when I played near the end of my career, I played third, fourth line in the NHL, and then I played in the minors where I was playing 30 minutes a night. The game part was more fun in the minors. That power play, penalty kill, scoring 2 points a game. But your goal in life is to be a National Hockey League player. So there's pros and cons to both. At the end of the day, you want to be known as a National Hockey League player. So you'd rather be the bit player on that one. But there are some nights that you wish you could play 18, 20 minutes and be a bigger contributor in a hockey game.
Okay, last kind of serious one, and then we'll have a little bit of fun here. I'm just going to kind of summarize what a number of people have been basically asking on the stream, and let me sort of put it this way. If Evan Bouchard's sort of up and down season continues, is he legitimately costing himself money going into this summer? Does that have to be a legitimate concern for him at this point, Brownie?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, there's a certain number that if you scored 90 points and had 25 goals, and then as compared to a number if you have 15 goals and 70 points. It'll cost. He's going to be very rich in his next contract, but yeah, 100%. I do believe that his season right now is costing him money. He still could have the last 48 games or whatever. He could catch fire and everything is good again. But yeah, I do believe at season's end they will evaluate, and his contract will be based on this season alone, not what they think he's capable of doing.
Yeah, how do you quantify the floor, right? How do you quantify that the floor is a little bit low? He's got a huge strike zone of really, really good. Then he has some moments like we saw one moment like tonight, right? That you want those top paid defensemen to have very, very few of those over the course of the year.
It's no less than 9, but he might have been able to get 10. So to me, it's 9 or 10, kind of in that range, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before I get to the actual rapid fire here, Zachary Hohen said, Shogger, how was the couch? How was your night last night?
Yeah. Couch is good. Yeah, the doghouse was good. I got through it. We reconciled, had nice coffee and a discussion this morning. So we're working our way through it. But there was no loving note and no dish of candy waiting for me when I got home tonight, unlike last night. So I think that's run its course for me.
Okay, we're going to do a little Christmas rapid fire here. And I'll tag one of you guys, and you got to pass it along to the next person. You can elaborate a little bit if you like, but basically they're going to be just kind of short snapper opinions, 1 or 2 choices, or go off on your own. I have music for it. Let's see here.
Let's get it. Boy, it's got a little. Subi, I love the production effort.
It's got a little intro. Okay, here we go. All right.
Wow.
Christmas rapid fire. Shogger, real tree or artificial tree?
Artificial tree. It's like a 9-footer.
Brownie?
Struds.
Oh.
Struds. Sorry. I was supposed to hand it off.
Mine's artificial. I put my own lights on, and mine is 9 feet 6 inches.
Oh, wow. Look at you bragging about your extra 6 inches.
Size matters.
For 54 years, we had a real tree. For 54 years. 2 years ago, we bought an artificial one, so it's now an artificial. Yeah, it's sad. I like real trees better, artificial, and it's not near as big as Shoggers or Struddies.
Nice. Okay. I had one real tree in my entire life, so it's all artificial for me. All right. Gift cards as presents, yay or nay, Brownie?
Getting or receiving?
Let's say giving. How do you feel about giving them?
Careful now. Careful now.
To me, they're stocking stuffers. Strud.
I love giving and getting them because if I get them, I can get what I want.
Yeah, don't mind getting them. As you guys know, love giving them. They were the company Christmas gift to the crew this year, so hope nobody's complaining.
No.
Well done, fellas. Okay, is the gift exchange where you steal gifts called Yankee Swap or White Elephant, Struds? Or something else?
Oh. Yeah, probably the Yankee Swap.
I haven't heard of either of those terms, but I guess that's just me. Brownie.
I haven't heard of either of those terms either. I heard of another term. I'm not sure if it's politically correct, but I have heard a different term used for it. I'm not going to say it, no, but I've never heard of the two that he just threw out there, though.
White elephant's new to me. I had heard Yankee Swap, but this year I'm hearing about this white elephant. Okay, eggnog, delicious or disgusting, Shogger?
First 3 or 4 sips are good. Then I want nothing to do with it after that. Much the same as anything Caesar, like a Caesar, like Clamato type thing.
Yeah.
First few sips feels like a good idea, then rapidly decreases in its quality, Struds.
Hook up an IV for me. I love it. I'll drink it all day, multiple liters.
As long as it's got a lot of rum in it, I'll drink an eggnog with rum with a lot of rum.
Is regifting ever an acceptable practice at Christmas time, Brownie?
Yes.
When? Explain.
What if someone brings over and they give you a big thing of nuts, and you're like, yeah, I don't really like those. I'm not going to throw them out. So, all right, we're going to go to the next party. Hey, here's some nuts for you.
Yeah, I'm okay with it if it's like, that type, a box of chocolates or something that's just kind of a simple add-in. So if it's just grabbing it on your way out of the house because you're going over to a dinner, I think you're fine. But anything that was intended as like a gift, absolutely not.
Yeah, I'd say the same. If it's something that I can just, I don't re-gift it. I'll just bring it over and give it to someone. Like, hey, I got you these nuts.
Well, isn't that a gift? Isn't that a re-gift? I don't really re-gift it. I just give it to someone.
No, I thought of you. I thought of you, and I thought this would be great. Hand it off.
Okay. Best Christmas dinner, turkey, ham, or something else, Brownie?
We're having beef Wellington this year, so I'm going to go with something else.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Had the turkey dinner at the Oiler game tonight. They had the media meal going tonight. And Struds absolutely loaded up the cranberry sauce on the plate, buddy. I was going to take a picture and send it to you. Loaded it up.
Yeah, I was walking by the room and I saw you take that big plate. I was like, man, is this guy playing tonight? But I, anything without turkey is like, it's just as wrong as a chocolate sundae without fudge. Like, it's just, that is the staple. On that day, you need to see it.
Okay, this is the final one. We're going to dig a little deeper here. You guys tell me what's the first thing that comes to mind for you. Think back to your childhood. What's the one Christmas gift you remember as a kid more than any other? Is there one that was the one thing that you got that you were just dying for, that you were just over the moon when you got it? Shogger, what was it?
The WWF wrestling ring and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat figurine.
Oh, nice.
That is a good gift.
Just the black leotard, that was all he had. Oh, and the red bandana. Yeah, that was awesome.
Great one, Shogger. Great one. I got a ghetto blaster. Two cassette ghetto blaster. Just rock.
Oh, make your cassette.
Make your own mixtapes.
Epic technology. Yep.
Brownie?
Honestly, I don't. I've had too many concussions. I do not remember a Christmas before the age of 18.
Oh no.
So I can't remember any. I have absolutely zero recollection. So I don't know. I'm guessing we had Christmases. I think we did. But yeah, no, I can't remember.
Well, wouldn't you be BC, right? So you'd be like, what year were you born? 30 BC?
Is that when you forgot how to defend, Brownie? You were a better defensive player up till then. Is that when it all fell out of your head, how to play the defensive side of the game?
I was a defenseman in junior, but I was called a back-checking defenseman. Hitch didn't like me much as a back-checking defenseman, so he made me play forward.
All right.
I'm just going to jump in on that one because I can't remember exactly what age, but I got the G.I. Joe Tomahawk helicopter with the two big rotors.
Yeah.
And I remember getting that one.
Rotors. Hey, did any of your friends have the aircraft carrier? Remember that giant obnoxious thing?
I think one of like a tertiary friend had it. Somebody said that on the stream here, Matt Blom said Brownie he thinks Brownie might have had that G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. He just doesn't remember.
My rich friend Tyler Kelly had it. I remember going to his house. It was amazing. Amazing.
I had the jet, but I didn't have the carrier. I had the F-14.
All right, that was Ask Us Anything, Christmas edition, brought to you by BJ Electric Supplies. Brownie, that is the final pod we need you for before the Christmas break, buddy.
Well, I hope you guys all have a wonderful Christmas. I hope Santa's good to you all. Eat too much, drink too much. Enjoy time with your families, and everyone listening or watching, have a very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys a week from now.
Love it, buddy. Have a great break, my friend. Thanks for everything.
See you, Brownie.
All right, guys. Cheers.
All right, the great Rob Brown. Merry Christmas, my friend. That was Ask Us Anything. As we get ready to go to break here, Struds, why don't we grab a scoreboard and we'll bring that to you, courtesy our friends at Canadian Club, in honor of the founding year of the CC Distillery, 1858. The all-new Canadian Club Classic 18-year-old high proof comes in at 58%. Whiskey connoisseurs out there. Their highest proof Canadian Club Classic to date is a full-bodied whiskey, aromas of caramel, toffee, spicy vanilla, and a rich oak with a butterscotch finish that is oh so smooth.
Half dozen games in the league today, and the one that really affected the Oilers was the Caps beating the Kings 3-1. Protas had 2 goals tonight. Who is he? He's a guy with 14 goals for the Washington Capitals. So great story for them. And with it, that loss and Oilers win, they move 1 point ahead of the Kings. Their next matchup will be a big one for both teams. The Avs 5-2 over the Kraken. Kiviranta had the hat trick for the Avs. Big win for the Avs.
How about 3 goals in under 13 minutes, buddy? 5 shots on net and 3 goals. Talk about taking advantage of your ice time.
Yeah, making the most of it for sure. And finally, the Ducks 5-4 over Utah. The Ducks playing some, maybe finding some traction. It goes to shootout, and the only person who scored of all 6 shooters was World Junior hero Mason McTavish.
And 4 points in the loss there for Clayton Keller. That is your scoreboard, brought to you by our friends over at Canadian Club. Still lots of show left. When we come back, we're going to go in depth on a blue liner in our core blue liners segments. And we purposely have not gone down the Rempe trail with Struds yet. He was very passionate about it in the last show. We're saving that for Take a Lap. Still plenty ahead here on the show. Stay with us. This has Got Your Back, presented by Play Alberta.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
Time now for our core blue liners, brought to you by HSE Core Services. If you're a small to medium-sized business, HSE Core has your back when it comes to health and safety compliance. From creating and managing a tailored health and safety program that meets all legislation and core requirements, HSE Core supports client operations every step of the way. Visit hsecore.com. That is HSECOR.com for more information. Our buddy Tom was at the house the other day, Struds. Some clients heard about his company on the pod. So he just signed him up, got him ready to rock and roll, wanted to pick up some Got Your Back hats for them. So he popped by real quick. He got a firsthand look at the golf simulator. He was thoroughly impressed. And I have to say, Struds, I'm not surprised that he thumps you on the tennis courts. The man looks like he is in extremely good cardiovascular condition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can run a long ways. I can't lift much, but he can run a long ways. So he's a very, very... He's in really good shape. Just kidding, Tom.
Yeah, there you go, Tom. Yeah.
So let's get to this guy. I've been waiting for this one for a while. Jake Sanderson. Son of Jeff Sanderson. He's fun to watch. Man, is he fun to watch. He is very talented. This guy skates as well as anyone in the NHL. Very quick on his feet. You can see the little plays when he gets the puck. Just turning away from players, faking, going one way. Like he's very deceptive in his movements, confident, made a ton of long stretch passes. Now, to be fair, that's kind of what Ottawa does. As soon as the D-men get the puck, the forwards are gone. And so, yes, it's those stretch passes. He's good at bank passes, things like that. Defends pretty well. Got caught looking. He was watching Connor McDavid on the first goal. I believe I've called that puck focused in the past, and it went right down to Arvidsson behind him and tapped it in. But he is a very, very skilled player. I can see why the media and the team is so excited about what he can become moving forward. But he is a pretty good defenseman, and I believe that he will be a very good defenseman in the years to come. And even the details in his defensive game aren't too bad for such a young player, Schauger.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Struds. I really like the pace at which he plays. Like the guy is such a naturally gifted skater. But he skates fast when he's out there. Like, I feel like he hits top speed a lot. I feel like he uses his speed a lot. And he plays on his toes aggressively, and he likes to use his speed. I really like that. He seems always just ready to go. And he had some tough moments. So I think defensively at times, I think there's a little bit of risk here and there, and he gets a little bit loose with it here and there. We saw that a few times tonight. But still fairly young player, though he's got a few seasons in the league here. -6, +8, and -11 in his regular season stats so far. Did I have that right? Yeah. And he's 77 games his first year, 79 his second year, and now he's got 20 points in his 33 games with the Ottawa Senators this year. So future's bright on the blue line for him, but love the overall speed that he competes at, Struds.
Yeah, he's skilled. He's very skilled. He moves well, and your point's well taken. He's got to make sure he understands the risk versus reward. But you get away with this stuff for your whole life. Just imagine him playing junior hockey or wherever, anywhere other than AHL. He'd be the best skater on the ice. Here, everyone's a pretty good skater, so he's got to kind of figure that out. But I believe he's signed for a long time. He's going to be. I think they had to sort out that D a little bit. I'm not sure exactly how. Like he and Shabbat are both pretty big pain defensemen. They both skate pretty well. It'd be interesting to see how they kind of put the final touches or a new touch on that with Steve Staios.
Bigger picture here on the Ottawa Senators, Struds. What do you think of this team, buddy? I mean, they've been on a nice run, 8 wins in their last 10 games. They've been good here. It's tight over in the Eastern Conference. It's tight in the Atlantic, but they're very much within striking distance. What do you think of this team? How would you feel about coming up against them in a playoff series?
I feel very comfortable if I was a good team. I don't think I'm too worried about them. The one thing that would worry me is Linus Ullmark, obviously. He's a very good goalie. But I just don't see them. So they've improved a ton since we saw them the first time. From game 1 to game 2, or just Oilers games. There was, I thought the structure was better. Keep in mind, last night they got into City, 2-3 in the morning, and I thought they came off a good start.
Tough turnaround, man.
Tough. That's a brutal one.
Them.
Brutal. God. It's better to go from Edmonton to Vancouver and back-to-backs rather than the other way. But I would not be too worried in the playoffs. I don't think they're deep enough right now. I don't think they're like that. They have pretty good structure defensively, but it wouldn't be that. I wouldn't be too fearful. But I believe This team needs to make the playoffs this year. I believe they need to push to get in there. Doesn't mean you trade away good young players, but you need to find a way, if you're Steve Stales and Travis Green, to get in the playoffs, because that should be the standard now. Playoffs are the standard moving forward.
Absolutely. All right, that was Core Blue Liners, brought to you by Tom Lesko and HSE Core Services. All right, let's take a look around the league, and we'll get to Matt Rempe here, courtesy Acon. 150 years they have been doing their thing, one of the originators in terms of heavy construction companies across North America. They're proudly operating here in Edmonton as well. And they've got jobs, folks. If you're looking for work, if you know someone who's looking for work, go to acon.com and click Join Our Team. You'll see a long list of jobs they have available in Edmonton, surrounding area, across the province, across the country. Great company, and they're always looking for quality people. So go to acon.com and click Join Our Team. Struds, you were very heavy-handed in your studies world about the way you wanted the Department of Player Safety to handle Matt Rempe. 8 games is the verdict. What say you?
Yeah, that's way light. And again, I want to be clear in my stance. I don't have no agenda against Matt Rempe. I love seeing young players play with a lot of enthusiasm. The problem is that he is shown himself to be that he's not willing to adjust to the league or any league. Your intention shouldn't be to go out there and try to manhandle and hurt people game in, game out. It doesn't make any sense. I heard John Shannon on the way to the game today saying that he's played 22 games in the league and he's been now suspended for 12. Like, it's not funny anymore, right? Like, when he first came up, it's like, we love the energy, he fights everybody, a dirty hit, but whatever. But now it's like he's not learning. And I wouldn't want to be the 5th guy he hits and I really get hurt. The players have to be in front of this. So I challenge his teammates to get in front of him and say, bud, this isn't working. We want you around and we think you can be effective, but you can't be getting kicked out. So take a different route. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. He knew he was going to hit this player from behind. No doubt. There's no doubt that he saw that coming. So I think missed opportunity by George Peros, but now it's up to his teammates and the coaching staff there in New York to get him straightened around. 22 games played, 12 games suspended.
Yeah, that's crazy. I will say I was having some conversations in the press box tonight, and I won't mention any names, but people working for different organizations and such. Mm-hmm. And there were those who felt it was heavy-handed, Struds. They understand the idea that people are frustrated. He's a big guy, his history. But just take the hit on its own and compare it to other suspensions that have been given out for similar hits and players that have a history. And that 8 games was fairly heavy-handed, and that the idea that punishing Rempe extra veracity because he is the size he is, you have to compare the act straight across. Take out of it the size of him. Take out of it the games played. Take out of it all of the factors that you express frustration over and isolate the incident itself. And it has to be done in a test tube, right? With that view only, that 8 games might have been a little heavy-handed. I'm not saying I agree. That was some of the discussion points from people whose opinions I respect in the press box. I thought 10 or 12 I would have been good with that. Even if it was more, I'd have been fine with that. I was hoping 10 or 12 because I've often said I don't think the league hits hard enough on hitting from behind. I was disappointed it was only 8, but not surprised in any way, shape, or form that it was 8 games.
So I'll disagree strongly on the games played. That makes a big difference. If he's played 300 games, it's spread out. We're talking about 22 games, multiple incidents, and not learning the lesson. He hasn't learned to adjust. You have to learn to adjust. The size, there's been other big guys. Derek Boogaard played in the NHL for a long time. Was he suspended repeatedly for these types of hits? You can still be affected without doing dirty hits. The quantity or lack thereof of games needs to be factored in this. He's not adjusting.
Interesting.
So it's like Reeves. Did I throw the book at Reeves? No. I was like, he's played tons of years in the league. That was a hard, dirty hit on Nurse, but he's played a lot of games where he wasn't dirty. So he's learned to adjust his game. This player hasn't. That's why you come down so hard.
Really interesting point, Struddy. I like that.
Yeah, I should have called George, let him know. So the next one, kind of a sad one. Brad Larson's an assistant coach for the Calgary Flames. I played against him in junior. I believe I played against the minors. I think he coached against me and did a pretty good job shutting me down most of the time. And unfortunately, he had took an indefinite leave of absence for a family matter. So I don't even want to speculate to what that is, but I know it's not good. So
you just wish them well.
100%. Best wish to him and to whatever they're dealing with. I hope that it comes out aces for them. So to fill that spot, they've gone down to the Wranglers. The HL team had brought up Trent Cull, the coach of that team. So he comes up, and then everyone kind of takes up a step from the assistant coach to the coach of the Wranglers. And then Marty Gellner is getting back behind the bench, the most fit human being, I think, over 50 years old in Canada. So again, best wishes to Brad Larson, his family, whatever's going on there. But Trent Cull gets a tap to come up and join Ryan Huska and the rest of the staff.
All right, that was Taking a Lap, brought to you by our good friends over at Acon. Along the lines of Rempe, Zuby, hop back in here, buddy, and let's wrap up the YouTube poll, bud.
Yeah, so the question tonight on the DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center YouTube poll was, what's your opinion of the 8-game suspension for Matt Rempe? 54% saying they thought it was too lenient, agreeing with Struddy. 38% saying they thought it was just right, and 7% actually saying they thought it was too harsh, maybe even too many games. That was 366 votes on a very busy stream tonight. So, yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Very busy stream. That poll brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. And with that, Struds, it is time to wrap the show with our Play of the Day, brought to you by Gallery Dental. Take the first step towards a stress-free dental experience. At Gallery Dental, they provide modern dentistry for today's patient with the most up-to-date dentistry, sedation, implants, and so much more. Contact GalleryDentalYEG.com. All right, buddy, Play of the Day is all yours tonight.
Would it be a day to be alive if you're a Giants fan? The Raiders won. I was cheering so hard for them. So with that win by the Las Vegas Raiders, the Giants are officially the only 2-win team in the NFL. Looks like we're trending towards the first overall pick as long as we lose out the rest, which we should. We got pounded today. Pounded. The St. FX Rams could have beat the Giants today. Come on, 2 more losses and we got this. New coach, new GM, new quarterback. Then we're on our way back up to the glory. Thank you, Raiders.
And to think that I had to be there in Seattle for take my whole family down for one of the 2 Giants wins.
Yeah.
That was brutal. It was such a terrible game, and they'd be in the clear. And then the Seahawks would be in the playoffs, and the Giants would have first overall locked up. We could have done each other so many favors that day, so to speak. 100%. The teams could have. And it makes me sick. It's still sick to my stomach thinking about it.
All right, that was our Play of the Day, brought to you by Gallery Dental. Zuby, I know you got the theme music rolling, but I just want to remind everybody one last time. If you are looking for a last-minute Christmas gift and you have a Taylor Swift fan in your family, make 2024 a Swiftmas to remember. Give them tickets to the Story of Taylor Swift. It's set to go on February 28th at Edmonton's Jubilee Auditorium. It's a storytelling concert featuring Charity Eden from Dallas, who is a fantastic performer. The Story of Taylor Swift, February 28th at the Jube. Tickets at ticketmaster.ca. And definitely recommend it. I saw some video, and she sings really, really well. It's just going to be a big, fun celebration. Celebrate Taylor, sing the songs, dance the dances. Why not if you got a Swiftie in your fan? Late Christmas gift or a stocking stuffer. All right, boys, that's going to wrap it up for the Christmas break. Very Merry Christmas to both of you guys and your families. Struds, I know we bang heads a lot, but nothing but love for you, buddy. Merry Christmas, pal.
Likewise you, Zub, and your families, guys. Even Brownie. Why not?
Thanks, fellas. Yeah, same to you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to whatever people celebrate this time of year. Everybody on the stream, we're happy to have you with us and celebrating lots of good. There was a couple of great write-in for the toys. Dan Logan said he got his Wayne Gretzky Titan hockey stick when he was like 12. Nice. And I always wonder why I don't know what the deal is with Titan. Even I don't understand why a current brand doesn't throw Titan on the red and white Titan on a stick as like a retro throwback stick. Gomez said he remembers getting the Battle Cat from He-Man. Jack said he got a slot car racing track. Do you remember those with the gun and the car goes around? They still make those. Those were awesome. And Oilers Diehard said, I got a Millennium Falcon one year. Was pretty happy with that.
Classic.
And a quick shout out to Joe Dokes, who says, thanks to this pod, I could be dropped off in the YEG area. I could clothe myself at Mr. Dirk, feed myself Hamel's Meats, shelter myself Timberhouse, and of course get vinyl siding from DLR. Love it, Joe. We love our sponsors too. Thanks to all our partners here on the show. And thanks to all of you for joining us on the live stream, downloading us in podcast form. Thanks for your reviews, your comments. We don't get back to everybody, but we certainly read them all. And we thank you for your involvement. We're going to take a few days off. Zuby and I will be back with a Ray and Dregs tomorrow. And then we're going to take a break as well. So we'll catch you after the game against the Los Angeles Kings on the 28th. Merry Christmas, everybody. Till then. See you, boys.